You anoint my head with oil. You know, I'm a summer kind of guy. Lots of time when we think of summer, we think of anointing our heads or our skin with oil, sometimes to block the sun, sometimes to help it out. But I'm a summer kind of guy. I love the sunshine. I love the warmth. I love that, like the sun coming down on my face. I love feeling the heat of its rays. I love going on the deck in the morning and just soaking up the sun in the morning and feeling its heat. It's awesome. But the one thing I don't like about summer, bugs. I can't stand the bugs. I can't stand the mosquitoes. I can't stand those things. I can't stand the little no-see-ums. They're like flying around there. What are they trying to do? They just come to bug me, come to annoy me. I just don't like them. And then I found out today what those little flies are actually trying to do. Those little flies are just being good little parents, and they want a place to lay their eggs, see? They just want to find a nice, warm, moist spot to lay their eggs. So they like to go and lay their eggs, say, a moist, warm area such as your nostril. The fly will go right there, lay an egg in your nostril. And you know what happens then? What happens then is that, the eggs hatch, the little larvae, the little worms-like things, they make their way up into the brain, and then they feed there, live there on your flesh, and make great inflammation and pain in your head, and it drives you crazy. Now that really makes for true for a sheep. A sheep that has no way of kind of batting flies away or swatting them or anything like that. A sheep is kind of helpless against the flies and the parasites and all those things that come after them during the summer times. But the good shepherd comes along and he anoints their head, sometimes their whole body actually, with oil. And this oil is usually a mixture of olive oil, some spices, sometimes tar even. And it will actually protect the sheep. It protects them from the flies. I don't know how. Maybe the flies land in it and can't get out, and so they become just stuck. But they don't get to do their thing. And so the difference between a sheep that's been irritated by these flies and driving them batty is that, and then the ones that aren't, it's 100%. Like flies, or sheep, that are full of flies and bugs. Some will even commit sheepicide. They kill themselves because they're so annoyed by these flies. They'll bang their heads repeatedly into a rock or a wall or something. They'll even throw themselves off a cliff because of the annoyance and the irritants of these bugs. And so the good shepherd they have a thing called a dip, and they'll actually dip the entire sheep and an entire flock actually go through a dip that coats them in this anointing of oil that protects them from the bugs of the summer. Very, very important. And also, I always thought of sheep button heads, and it protects them that way as well. But they also, I've read that they will butt heads, but more affectionately, and they'll rub heads, and so that stops them from passing on viruses and diseases that we're quite familiar with these days. So the good shepherd anoints my head with oil to protect me, and to look after me, to make me a happy little sheep. And I'm so glad that he anoints my head with oil.